possible action regarding the repayment of $12,623.04 for the claim from the Oklahoma Firefighters Pension System regarding Jason Miller, our fire chief. Town board had requested on 10/7/2015 at a special meeting. I make a motion that we accept the repayment of $12,623.04 for the claim from Oklahoma firefighter Jason Miller
At the rate
I thought we didn't have to
of
say
$50
that.
a pay.
At the rate of $50 per pay period for him.
I second.
Ron?
No.
Cecilia?
Yes.
Leanne?
Yes.
Carolyn?
Yes.
Berlin, yes. It's good. Item 4, consideration, discussion, and possible action regarding the third reading and adoption of the location of meeting ordinance, ordinance number 2015-101301. Jim, you want to read that? This is where we can legally have our board meetings elsewhere in the town of Luther.
This is ordinance number 2015-101301. An ordinance relating to meetings of the town board of trustees of the town of Luther, Oklahoma. Sections 2-104A and 2-104B are hereby repealed. Sections 2-104A and 2-104B are hereby adopted as they read in the ordinance, providing for a repealer, providing for severability, and declaring an emergency. Section 2, the meeting of the boards of trustees shall be held regularly on the second Tuesday of each month at 7 o'clock. It may meet at such other times as it may prescribe by ordinance, resolution, or otherwise. Where a day for a meeting falls upon a day which is a legal holiday in the state, the meeting shall be held on the next available day which is not a holiday. Special meetings may be called by the mayor or any 3 trustees. A majority of all members of the board shall constitute a quorum to do business, but a smaller number may adjourn from day to day. Section 2-104B shall be adopted as follows. Every meeting of the Board of Trustees shall be held in the town of Luther unless, in case of an emergency or otherwise, the mayor or 3 board of trustees designates another place for holding of the meeting. Any adjourned meeting may be held at such other place designated by the board. Section 4 is the repealer clause that repeals the ordinances. Section 5 is the severability clause that if any portion of this ordinance is declared unconstitutional or invalid, then the remaining portions of the ordinance are not affected. And section 6 is the emergency, which will be taken up in the next item on the agenda.
Is that all about the board?
That's all.
That didn't go on into item 5, did it?
Yes, it is.
Wait, no, there's items.
But
So
you
I'll make
Section 5 is the severability clause.
yeah, but we need a motion to accept that.
Yes.
I make such a motion.
I second it. Ron?
Yes.
Cecilia?
Yes.
Carolyn?
Yes.
Leanne?
Yes.
Berlin, yes. Item 5, consideration, discussion, and possible action regarding the adoption of the emergency clause for the location of meeting ordinance, ordinance number 2015-101301.
That just states that being immediately necessary for the preservation of peace, safety and welfare of the town of Luther and the inhabitants thereof. The provisions of this ordinance be put into full force and effect, and an emergency is hereby declared to exist by reason of this ordinance take effect and be in full force and effect from and after its passage, as provided by law.
That it on there?
Somebody just make a motion to adopt the emergency clause.
I make a motion to adopt the emergency clause.
I second it.
Ron?
Yes.
Celia?
Yes.
Carolyn?
Yes.
Leanne?
Yes.
Sterling, yes. Item 6, consideration, discussion, and possible action regarding the third reading and adoption of the addition of unlisted offenses to the fine schedule. Ordinance number 2015-101-302.
This is an ordinance of the town of Luther, Oklahoma, relating to fines for offenses not previously provided for, providing for a repealer, providing for severability, and declaring an emergency. Section 1, fines not specifically listed. Any person found to be in violation of any provision of the Code of Ordinances of the town of Luther, which is not specifically designated in section 1-108C or elsewhere, shall be fined in the amount of, for the first offense, $75, second offense, $150, third and subsequent offense in each fiscal year, $300. Section 2 is the repeater. Section 3 is the severability. Section 4 is the emergency, which will have to be adopted later.
I make a motion to adopt the addition of unlisted offenses to the fine schedule.
I'll second.
Ron?
Yes.
Celia?
Yes.
Carolyn?
Yes.
Leanne?
Yes.
Sterling, yes. Item 7, consideration, discussion, and possible action regarding the adoption of the emergency clause for the addition of the unlisted offenses. Oh, is that the same thing?
Yes, it's the same exact wording as the other one.
And it's the same thing, or is it something different?
It goes to this ordinance, not
It's
the
the
other
emergency
ordinance.
clause.
Okay, for the addition of the unlisted offenses to the fine schedule, ordinance number 2015-101-302.
I'll make the motion to adopt the emergency clause. I'll second.
Ron?
Yes.
Cecilia? Yes. Leanne?
Yes.
Carolyn? Sterling, yes. Item 8, consideration, discussion, and possible action regarding drafting a municipal ordinance for truancy violations.
Okay, this is that letter I received, y'all had them in your inbox, that the district attorney is not gonna prosecute truancy offenses anymore. They done away with that at some level, and he's not getting any money for it, and he's not going to prosecute it. So, the town of Luther does not have any truancy ordinances, and if the board wants to keep that as an offense to be prosecuted, we will have to adopt our own ordinance to do that. And if you'd like for me to, you can instruct me to draft an ordinance relating to truancy for the town of Luther.
Okay, Truancy, what does that cover?
That covers minors under the age of 18 that are supposed to be enrolled in school and they're not attending school.
Is that not
So
an
why
issue
would
for the
we-
school system?
Shouldn't the parents do their thing first? Parents are responsible for their kids. So it's going to be a stretch for me to say the town has to do it.
But would
Maybe
the school go through notifying the parent if their child and
They
And
should, yes.
doing some type of truancy letter or something?
Yes, that's the way it's been done, and then the district attorney has been handling it at the district court level. That's not going to be done anymore.
So he's
We
saying,
want to keep it an fence, well, we'll have to adopt our own ordinance to do that.
It wouldn't only pertain to a school problem, though, would it be other things a child might get in trouble with? That's
No,
underage.
this one doesn't.
Is that just for the-
Deals
This is for
strictly
truancy.
with truancy.
Like, what are we talking about truancy? They late 3 days out of the week or
Missing
what?
school,
Huh?
just
Missing
Missing school?
No.
So when the school talk to the parents?
That's
Well,
what he's
they
saying,
talk
they
to 'em,
would,
but
but
that, you know, I'm sure they talk to them about speeding or reckless
So you're-
driving and stuff like
so
that
according to
too.
his letter,
So
what
you
I'm
want
under,
us, you want the town to start patrolling
He's
truancy for
he's
kids?
saying if we still want to enforce truancy laws like are in the state, that we have to do it here.
so from what I'm understanding from this letter, is once the school notifies the parents and stuff and they get a fine from the school, it goes to the DA's office. They're no longer wanting to do that. They're wanting to know if we want to encumber that fund and stuff and
They're
hold it
telling
here
us to do it.
in the town of Luther.
Yeah,
Do we know what the fine is for truancy with the school? Do we have any of that information, what the school does, the
I haven't
process?
done that, I will research that if you want me to.
Yeah. I'd like to make, which, you know, some parents just refuse to send their kids to school, so that is neglect. So I would like to make a motion, Jim, that you, go ahead.
Before you make a motion, have you talked to the school?
He just said.
What is the problem that they now have with kids in truancy? Do they have a problem? Is
No,
it
I
5 kids
I
or
don't
more?
know one way or another, Ron, I have no
Well, we
idea.
need to identify if it's even a problem before we start trying to, say the town will start giving out fines to parents.
I
That's
would guess
first of all.
if the
I
DA
don't
is not
know.
messing with it,
Huh?
I'm guessing if the DA has decided not to mess with it anymore, it's because it's not worth it.
I'm kinda inclined to think too.
Might
You know,
be.
kids skipping school, parents need to get them. Police, you know, they need to say, hey,
They can't do
take them home to
anything
their
if there's no
parents.
law against
They
it.
can't do
Huh?
that.
They can't do anything if there's no law
Okay.
for
I
Okay,
would-
so what do we want to
I would like to make a motion, Jim, that you talk to the school, to Mr. Buxton or Ms. Sheffler, whoever it is, see if there is an issue in Luther first.
Officer
And then-
Oliver,
And then come back and let the board know if the school feels there is an issue that we have with truancy. We might not have it.
Okay.
Do
So
you know
just drop it.
anything, Mike?
The truancy covers when a kid leaves the school. So if a kid walks off from campus, that covers under the truancy as well. It's just not if they skip
Have you been
school.
experiencing a problem
Yeah.
around Luther?
It's supposed to be a closed campus, but there ain't nothing controlling these kids from walking off campus. So if they leave campus at lunch and we pick them up, we take them back to the school, and then we have the option to fine them for leaving the school.
But according to this, they're gonna do away with that.
Yeah, they're not.
have
gonna
you
do
done,
it.
have you been finding that? I mean, does that really happen?
We have in the past.
How far in the past?
It was when Tim Harris was here.
It's been a while.
I
So,
don't know.
okay. I'm gonna make a motion again. My motion was on the board and you all continue to talk, it was on the floor. I'm gonna make a motion again, Jim, that you talk with the school, with Mr. Buxton, Ms. Sheffler, or whoever. See if there's a need for us to do this before we act on it.
Okay.
And then bring it back to the board. If they feel it's, and if they can give us some type of statistics on what they see as far as number-wise or how often it's happening, that would also help us with making a decision. But before we act on it, I would like for you to check into that and bring it back to the board and let us know. It might not be anything we need to do.
I can live with that. I can live with that, but I'm like Leanne, if the district attorney is dropping it in the way they are after money, I think it's a no-brainer to me.
Well, he
Yeah, we
states
should
in
leave it alone.
He states in his letter, the reason is that he's not getting any money for it.
Okay, so why would we want to make a law?
Okay, I got a motion.
I second
And
it.
second it.
Ron,
No.
Cecilia,
Yes.
Carolyn,
Yes.
Leanne. Yes. Verlaine, yes. All right.
And we will find out if we do
speech from Mayor Verlaine Langley. This will be followed by an open forum for comments, if you would like. Only just a few minutes. I really don't want anybody screaming, yelling, and nobody may even want to make a comment. However, back at our last meeting, our monthly meeting, we had a young lady come up to the board. And she wanted to ask the board a few things that we could help her do for the town. And she was shot completely down. She stood there and I watched her fighting back the tears before she had to turn around and walk back into the public. And that made me mad. I'm gonna watch my words, I'm sorry. Made me very upset. I have sat with an employee of the town, a gentleman. I've watched him break. That got my heart big time right there. People come to the board meetings, they don't come to be humiliated, put down. You know, they come as a person of the town. The people of our town is what makes our town, okay? We're not to be standing here humiliating them, making them feel like a piece of crap and turn around and walk off and not even have it in them to ask the board what they wanted to ask them in the first place. I feel like I am being picked on. I have a whole list that Jim Briscoe had to come talk to me about. A few things were on Facebook. Now, Brett and I have sent these little Mexican words of the day. We share them. I don't know if everybody has seen them. Have you? Anybody seen the little Mexican word of the day? Okay, I know everybody shares them, and if you haven't, it's something like, word of the day, blueberry. The wind blew very hard, I had to replace my roof. You know, that's nothing. But I was talked to that maybe I might be a racist, or people might think I'm a racist. I have 2 grandchildren, Jeremy and Ashley, that are part Mexican. I have a great grandbaby over here that is part black. I am not a racist. My family would not let me see these kids if I was a racist. And I do expect everybody to just let me speak, and then you can speak, whether it be the board or anybody out here. That was one thing. I have a whole list of them, but then I'm going to just go to the other one. I have a grandson that was on the volunteer fire department, or is on the volunteer fire department. People know what I think of my grandkids. They know if it's going to be between me or my grandchild, I'm going to pick my grandchild. Okay? Nepotism is what I'm getting at. So I checked here, I checked there. Jason spoke, he told them it is not nepotism. My grandson is right here. He loves the fire department. That is his life, that's his dream. And he is using Luther, it's been a stepping stone. He has got so much from this fire department that now he can go and get, and he's taken his test, start a job at $43,000 a year. That's starting out. So I went on, we've been for 6 months feeling bad, both of us, the whole family, because I'm going to have to hurt my grandson and tell him, no, you can't do what you want in life. So I finally contacted Matthew Love. He is with OMAG. If anybody decided to sue our town, if anybody wants a copy of this, I've got a few left. If anybody decided to sue our town, he would be the one that would take care of it. So he sends an email back that says, the question is from the mayor, who is a governing body member. In that case, the grandson couldn't be appointed to any office or position of profit with the town. Since the position is a volunteer position, it would not be a position of profit, so the mayor's grandson would be fine. So he can stay on the volunteer fire department. I was ready, when I stated, I told Laura to put me on the agenda, I was getting off the board. I cannot stand the way this board treats the people of the town. I'm sorry, I just can't stand it. You sit there, you know, there's laughs. They come to us as a person of this town. They are what makes this town. And I know it's most people aren't like me. I like to have functions. I like to do things with the town. I have fun with the town. But that's what makes the town want to be here. Back to our fire department. Those guys bust their hinds to protect every one of us and everybody else. They get no recognition from anybody. I don't know, but I just don't know if anybody goes, checks on them. Do you need anything? Hey, you guys are doing a good job. Thanks for saving my life. You know, I don't know if anybody does that. I know I do. I thank them very, very much. They don't get, you know, we want to get rid of, people say we want to get rid of firemen. We don't want to get rid of firemen. We don't even have enough. I think you have to have 32. Am I correct? To have a real fire department volunteer, do we have to have 32 firemen?
30 is the max we can have.
30?
Yeah.
Okay, so we can't be a fire department with just maybe 14 or 15 people. We can't do
He
it.
said 30 is the max. He didn't say the minimum.
That's the max.
Huh?
He didn't say the minimum.
They're free.
Well, what?
I said they're free, they don't cost the town nothing.
That's right. We don't pay them.
What difference does it make how many there are?
It doesn't make a difference. So I'm not for cutting our fire department down to 14 or 15 people. Our vehicles, okay? Yeah, we have a lot of fire vehicles, and the reason why is because we don't have one that, we've never had a new one. All we get is pieces of crap that nobody else wants. And we get them because hopefully we can get a part off of this one and a part off of that one until we get maybe a decent one. I'm about to shut up, however, I do want to say one word. The other day, we had a call. I went down to Ruby's to pick my 2 granddaughters up. One fire truck had already gone. Well, this other one is still sitting in there because it wouldn't start. Finally, it started. I believe, were you in that fire truck, you and Colin? Trying to hurry up and get to a fire, and the fire truck wouldn't even start. So, you know, we need to give these guys a break. We need to do what we can for them, not against them.
Yep.
I don't know what else to say other than I'm ashamed of how we do.
Go ahead and then I'll speak after you.
Please state your name for the
Michelle
minutes.
Jeffries. A couple of years ago, our town almost burned down. Without our fire department, half of these people wouldn't have a home. It doesn't matter how many are on the fire department, in my opinion, because they all do a service for us. If you're hurt, they're coming to your aid. You're not gonna have to wait on somebody in Oklahoma City to come out here. So, I don't know what the big deal is about our volunteer fire department. They don't get paid to help you.
And if you're against them, they still come to you.
That's right. And the thing about Colton, because he's the mayor's grandson, he doesn't get paid. He's just like everybody else. He's volunteering his time, which everybody should be appreciative of that.
Okay.
They don't pay for our fuel.
One second, Cecilia. We're now, once we open it up to open forum, we are now having an open meeting violation, are we not?
No.
Well, she brought it up and she was
But
talking
it's not on the
about what-
agenda.
But still,
Yes, it is.
Not anything about volunteer fire.
Oh,
from
I'm just saying that we
her
should all be
statement.
appreciative of
Okay,
what
That's
we do
my
have.
statement.
okay, so now I have a couple of things to say. First off, I don't feel the fire department is any better than the police department, the maintenance department, the girls in the town hall. I don't feel any of them are any more important than any of the rest of them. I mean, the police department has to go out on calls too. And nobody loves their grandkids any less than you do, Berlin. There's a lot of people in Luther that have interracial grandkids, interracial kids, interracial families all together. So nobody loves their grandkids any less than you do. I probably love mine more than you do, to my opinion, you know. So to Carolyn's opinion, she loves hers. Ronnie, everybody loves their grandkids. And everybody's gonna jump a mile, maybe, for their grandkids. So, you know, I don't see the point in that. Also, and I'm like you, I'm say what I gotta say. Also, you can't do double standards because I recall at one board meeting, you made the statement, I don't like any of the fire department. I don't like anybody on it. And if my house was to catch fire, I know you all wouldn't come help me in Jeremy. You made that statement. Now, the fire department is being glorified, and I think they do a good job. I'm not saying they don't. I think they do a good job. Police department does a good job. Maintenance does a job because they come fix the leaks, they do whatever. So,
Was that on a recording?
I'm sure it was, if the tape better had been running. But anyway, the thing of it is, the people are here. We're here to serve the people. We've always done that. That's always been, supposed to have been the objective. You know, and I don't see where that I see where that objective changed to some people. And as far as the town Facebook, I don't go out there and read it. So what goes on that town Facebook, or who's saying this, who doing that, I don't know, don't care, in my opinion. So whatever was said, I don't know anything about it. And in reality, everybody, and they're alive, they say they not, everybody has some little bit, I don't care who you are, what color you are, where you come from, how you was raised. Everybody has some inking of racism in them. Everybody. I don't care who you are, what you, how you, where you came from. Everybody got it. So you can't say you don't. Everybody. And if I want to see one person in this room that can say they don't, because they're alive, they say they don't.
I'm a liar then. I don't
You're a liar. Because I guarantee you, everybody got some.
She called me one.
Okay, meeting is adjourned.
No, wait,
Hey man, can't get
actually,
adjourned.
item 10 is new business and item new business.
Oh, wait a minute, I put my glasses up. I don't know where it is. Where's yours? Ronnie, are you laughing at Jeremy?
Yes, it is.
Hell no!
Focus.
Hey,
Yes, you
you
would.
boy.
Okay.
Yes, you would.
I'm not laughing at